Hi guys and gals and all my non-binary friends. So today I wanted to talk about capitalism. I wanted to talk about the naked capitalism that was on display this year. So over the weekend I was binging this amazing woman right here on TikTok, and I'm just gonna let her explain basically the premise of this video today.
Nuance November, take number 2. We're still in this pandemic in part because some of you heard that only disabled people and elderly people would die, and that was perfectly all right with some of you.
We all, as a nation, as a country, as a society, whatever the fuck you want to call us, we found out about a disease that was really really deadly for the elderly and for the disabled, and we were scared. We were not sure because we kind of figured we weren't sure. We didn't know what was going on. But we still were like, okay, it's fine. We shouldn't just shake the room. We shouldn't shake the room. Why are we shaking the room? Old people aren't really, they're not really working anymore. And disabled people, they're probably not working either. So it really doesn't matter, right? And then, not only that, but once the numbers started piling up and we actually started caring about this disease, we started to find out the actual racial lines that this pandemic was murdering Black and brown people predominantly, indigenous people predominantly, and we were like, okay, that's fine. I mean, when you really think about it, what are we willing to sacrifice for this economy? Are you willing to give it up for the economy? Bottom line, if we shut things down, the economy will be ruined. So we don't care about the people. We don't care about people dying. We could all cry and pretend like, oh, 9/11, it was the worst thing that ever happened. The capitalism tricks us into believing that we need trauma, that we need traumatic, devastating things to be happening in front of us to actually give a shit, because trauma is inspiring. Trauma gives you something to believe in. Trauma tells you that even though your companies and businesses and the government is not working for you in any kind of sustainable way whatsoever, it's inspiring that in spite of that, you made it out. So you should be happy, and you shouldn't be worried about what the government is doing and what these companies are paying their wages, because you should be happy because you made it out. And anyone who's stuck in low-wage jobs and can't get health care and are susceptible to diseases and are disabled, that's their own problem. That's their own fault. So we don't really need to care about those people. Those criminals that we lock up, we don't have to care about them because that was their own moral and misguided feelings of their own. And it wasn't systems oppressing them and pushing down on them constantly from capitalism. It's all rooted in capitalism. And that was on display this year, bro. We saw 70 million plus people vote for Donald Trump after 4 years of cruelty, after 4 years of just neglect, incompetence, stupidity, mediocrity, scamming, everything you can ever imagine, but also everything that represents America truly when you see the white supremacy and the capitalism that it all is, which is just naked capitalism. It's why people aspire to be like Donald Trump. It's why 70 million people still voted for him, because they thought, well, I got a check. I was able to maybe get some scams off this year with some of the grants that was going on. So you know what? I got to look out for me, because this year was crazy. This year was bad. And I just got to look out for me. These same people in the same breath then try to talk revolutionary talk. And that's what kills me. It's like, how are you? Capitalism is destructive. It feeds on the most marginalized of us, while also using our trauma and our traumatic experiences that it brought onto us as inspiration porn for those who feel like, oh, at least my life isn't that. So people can be like, well, my life isn't that. I'm upset. Capitalism fucking fucked me over, but capitalism really fucked them over, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. And I understand that Joe Biden isn't a cure-all. Him and Kamala Harris are, as an abolitionist, as someone who believes the Electoral College should be abolished, as someone who is an anti-capitalist, as someone who believes that healthcare should be a God-given right. That I understand that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to be a fight all on their own. But I understand that voting, my right to vote, my power to have a say in this little shit show we call a democracy is powerful, and it means something. It means the difference between cruelty that is deadly to everyone, including the people who support it. And that's what was also on display this year. It shows you that capitalism will destroy the people that supports it. Donald Trump supporters are elderly. Donald Trump supporters are poor people, and those are the people that were hurt the most by this disease, because poor people don't have health care. And while these people, we're in a pandemic, he's trying to strip us health care, a pandemic that he exacerbated, because that's how capitalism works. It exacerbates the problem, and then it says, oh, well, fuck you if you didn't survive that problem. You just can't survive here. You need to do better. You need to be better. No. Capitalism fucking sucks. I understand that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is not the cure-all, but I also understand that voting gives you the power to lessen the trauma. It lessens the trauma. It says, okay, I understand that these are both like problems and fights, but I'm going to go with a fight that is more in reality, that is can say that we also are all looking at the same problems, that we all see these same problems. Now we have different ways of going about it, and yes, and you can say whatever you want to say, period. There's a lot of arguments to be made on those two, period. But that's a fight that I'm willing to go to, then instead of the guy who is literally calling people rapists, saying that white supremacists and Nazi people they should stand by and stand back. We just saw the protests. Then people were rioting. Those white people were rioting. And all this summer, we've been out here fighting for lives. People who were the most susceptible to this disease, disabled people, marginalized people of color, all of those people went out and fought for people's lives in this pandemic. Then you on the other side, you have citizens who are going out and literally saying, I have a right to endanger your life. I have a right to not wear a mask because you're trying to program me. You're trying to control me. I remember when I was a fucking freshman, and I was in world fucking history, and my teacher said, in the law, your rights end where mine's begin, right? So as soon as you infringe on your other people's rights with your freedoms, that's when it stops, right? So when it comes to public health, if you have to wear a mask because it's for everyone's health, then you don't have, like, put on the mask. That's why we wear seatbelts. That's just that simple. It's really elementary. But that's what capitalism does. It says, oh no, how dare you, in the face of people saying, hey, care about other people's lives, care about other people being able to pursue happiness. Capitalism in itself should be against the Constitution, because you cannot really everyone does not have the freedom truly in this society, in this system, to pursue happiness in this country. And that in itself is unconstitutional. We all know it. We know it. It's right in our face. We saw it on display this year. That's why the side that was pushing the hardest for capitalism, even though Democrats are pushing for capitalism, but the side that is roaring back to capitalism is out there undemocratically trying to steal this election. You have to understand, it's to lessen the trauma. One side is saying, okay, maybe we should have election days be off so everyone get a chance to vote. And the other one thinks you shouldn't vote. You shouldn't get a say. Fuck that. They're actively trying to say, don't listen to people mail-in ballots. Even if a percentage of those mail-in ballots are going to be for me, I don't want to hear anyone talk. I don't want to hear from any of that. Capitalism silences us. It tells us to be quiet and take the scraps, the crumbs that they give us. And then you know what it does? Once the scraps, the crumbs that they've given us and made it into something beautiful and something worthy of love and appreciation and admiration, they steal it and say that it was never ours. And they do it every time. Central Park was a black village. Tulsa happened. All kind of massacres. They bomb churches. White supremacy is not new. Capitalism is not new. It's been going on since... It's the fight, man. And people are so invested in it that they can't see it. And that's another trick of capitalism. It really triggers us. It uses all this inspiration porn, people making it in spite of all capitalism does to make sure no one is able to actually make it. And then people actually get invested in it and believe, oh, maybe I'll be that one. Everyone else can fuck off, but I can be that one. I can be that one. I'll bring my whole family out of the poverty. But it's like, it's never enough. We need to care about each other. We need to care about what's going on with our neighbor. We need to care that our neighbor can't pay her bill, that our neighbor is going through substance abuse because she is using substances as a coping mechanism for the ways that capitalism and our government and our corporations and everything else that we're built on has failed this person. By not paying attention to capitalism, we don't pay attention to our biases, because capitalism feeds into our most base biases and it pushes those biases full throttle. That's why you have an industry where you literally create women. You got women hating themselves so that they can buy these products that are marked up just because they are female products. Razors, like I gotta shave everything. Baby, I'm a woman. I'm a fucking lady, okay? I have fucking hair on my leg. And now my razor gotta be more expensive than a man, and not even as good as a man's, because you marked it up because you hate women. That's what happened. People were willing to go with Donald Trump to get a check, because maybe one day they can be a millionaire who doesn't pay taxes, who only pays $750 in taxes. Baby, not everyone's gonna be able to scam like Donald Trump, because not everyone's gonna be able to live in a world of privilege like Donald Trump. It doesn't work like that. And we need to, instead of glorifying that world of privilege, we need to dismantle that world of privilege. Capitalism creates this exclusivity. That's really what it's about. It's about this elusive lifestyle that we all can somehow gain if we just buy enough stuff and work hard enough and not take a fucking breath and actually appreciate the people and the things around us, and think about how this shit should be for everyone and not just for a select few. Capitalism will not save you, and it will trick you into investing in things and stuff that just that gives you a void that you can just never feel, but you always just want more and more and more. And I say this as someone who, I am a product of capitalism. I see stuff all the time. I'm like, damn, I want that. Well, also not even wanting to deal with the monster of a closet that's behind me, because there's just so much shit in my closet. And it's just like consumerism. I still want more. So I'm not saying that I'm above that, or that there's somehow something crazy about it. We are a product of our environments. And once we have the knowledge of what our environment actually is, what we do after that is important, right? And so I am a product of my environment, that I realized that that's a problem. And I'm like, okay, well, what we gotta do about it? We need to dismantle this shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the naked capitalism that was on display this year, and really make people understand that just because you want to line your pockets doesn't mean that you get to still be called a good person while also saying fuck everybody else. Like, I don't really truly believe in good people or bad people. I really believe in people making the best choice they feel for them. And a lot of times people just try to be opportunistic in those choices. And so they make choices that hurt other people. You know what I'm saying? But for those people professing that need that I'm going to be telling you right now, you ain't hitting the standard. So go back to the drawing board. Because first of all, the standard is too high. Nobody's going to hit that. Nobody can ever really truly be a truly good person, because we all have our biases, our things. And once someone points out those biases, you just need to go back to the drawing board and try to do better. Period. That's just it. And so reflect on 2020 and figure out if after all this happened, were you more inclined to be like, okay, well, fuck everybody else, and I'm just going to look out for me? Or were you like, now I need to hold everybody more closer, because this year was fucking crazy. This year was crazy. Nobody came out of this year unscathed. Nobody came out of this year unscathed. And seeing that, understanding that everyone went through this traumatic year together. And so we should care about each other even more. Because that's what the coronavirus really showed you. That people just didn't care about each other. Everyone was told to put on a mask and stay at home. to keep other people safe, to keep older people safe, to keep disabled people safe, to keep the most marginalized of us safe. And we just didn't want to do it because, hey, fuck it, it's not me. And that's what capitalism is. Okay, y'all, I kid you not, I thought I was done. I thought I was done with this video, and I turned off the camera, and then I was like, what am I doing next? I can't edit because my iMovie is fucking up. And so I was like, okay, let me read, because I just finished I'm Still Here by Austin Channing Brown. So fucking good. Check out that book. And I was like, I want to read something else. I'll just read The Water Dancer because I hear it's an amazing book. And so I'm literally on page 6. Let me read to you guys. All right. There is no sensation like drowning, because the feeling is not merely the agony, but a bewilderment as so alien a circumstance. The mind believes that there should be air, since there is always air to be had, and the urge to breathe is such a matter of instinct that it requires a kind of focus to belie the order. Had I leapt from the bridge myself, I could have accounted for my new situation. Had I even fallen over the side, I would have understood, if only because this would have been imaginable. But it was as though I had been shoved out of a window right into the depths of the river. There was no warning. I kept trying to breathe, and I remember crying out for breath, and more I remember the agony of the answer, the agony of water rushing into me, and how I answered that agony by heaving, which only invited more water. That is capitalism. Capitalism, you can't breathe in capitalism. There is no room for failure in capitalism, because failure means the detriment of your place in society, your place in life, your health, your family's health, your wealth, your well-being, your mental health, everything. Capitalism does not allow you a chance to breathe. This woman was out here saying that you should have raised the minimum wage because that means you're gonna work less. That means you're gonna have to work less. That's the whole fucking point, bitch. I don't want to fucking work. I want to be able to focus on me and the people I love. That's the problem with capitalism. It convinces you that you should just want to work. You should just want to work until you fucking die. And that's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. That's not what this life is about. This earth is free. This earth is for all of us. And so I just want to leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video informative. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your ass, wear a mask, and don't be a capitalist asshole. Bye.